Hey everyone, Purple-Eyed Chaos here today, bringing you 10 interesting lore bits about the cat school from the Witcher series. So, hope you enjoy. So the first thing today, we're going to start with the Order of the Witchers. When the Witchers first came into existence, they were actually one order, the Order of the Witchers, which didn't last too long, actually, before they started to split in all different schools. Well, more on that another time. The cat school actually left the Order of the Witchers, believing they could make better Witchers, better mutations. They believed that in doing so they could be more respected, command and demand more respect, pretty much. The founders of the cat school actually even stole mutagens from the Order of the Witchers and alchemical equipment. And almost immediately after they left the Order of the Witchers, they were already under the name of the Cat School. After leaving the Order and becoming known as the Cat School, the Cat Witchers set up headquarters at Steiga Castle, which is actually a very important place in the Witcher books, but more on that another time. And that really is how the Cat School came into existence. There'll probably be more on the other schools as well as the Order of the Witchers another time. For now, we're just doing the cats. Now for the second bit, the cat school actually succeeded in creating witchers that were more emotionless than other witchers. Unfortunately, they thought that this wasn't enough, and so they created more. They tried to create ones that had even less emotions than the ones they had already made, and they had a few failed experiments. These failed experiments had heightened emotions instead of less. And shockingly, this was really the start of the fall of the cat school, in a way. Or at least, the original cat school. I personally find this interesting because, well, this means that witchers do have emotions, which I'm sure all of us knew in the first place, but still, it's an interesting thing to think about. All witchers' emotions are simply dulled. They're not completely stripped from them. The cats, however, wanted to dull them even more. They wanted to strip them even. But they never quite got to that point. Coming up at number 3, we have a dead moving Endregas? Okay. Yeah, that happened. So on number 3, the cat school were very important in the politics in the early days. They rejected neutrality, they sent witchers as spies, assassins, and swords for hire, and really this gained them a lot of infamy. I'd say infamy and fame amongst rulers and kingdoms. Indeed, they gained the favor of many rulers by doing this, and likely gave many an edge in wars, because no human can stand up to a witcher. Well, I say that, but actually, apparently some can, according to the books. Like one certain person, yeah. As for number 4, the cat school had a schism. Dialing things back a little bit, as I said earlier in the video, there were failed experiments, and this led to some witchers having heightened emotions and pretty much thrown away. Well, one of the witchers, by the name of Gesras, I'm guessing it's pronounced, he freed the witchers with heightened emotions and joined together with them to create the splinter group of the cat school, and a schism happened. They supported the elves. Gesras and his splinter group fought alongside the elves in their battles against humans. And as they had the medallions of the cat school and all of that, they became much more infamous in the world. Rulers began to fear them instead of wanting to hire them. The rulers began to mobilize their royal armies and work together, getting ready to attack Steiga Castle and destroy the cat school. All the while, Gesras' group of cat witchers assassinated all of the mages within Steiga Castle. Without the mages to support the cats at Steiga Castle, They stood no chance against the overwhelming forces, and the cat school at Steiga Castle fell fast, and there were no survivors, leaving only Gesrus' group. In a way, I'm not really sure I blame Gesrus, mostly for freeing the Witchers with heightened emotions. Just because they had heightened emotions doesn't mean they should have just been tossed aside. I mean, that's literally like throwing away someone for something they cannot help. And in reality, the elves were probably the only people who would accept Gesrus' group after they split from the cat school. So, in a few ways, I'm not sure I can blame them, but that's my thoughts, anyway. After Steiga Castle, Gesrus abandoned the idea of creating better Witchers. He reformed the cat school as a traveling caravan, one that would stop pretty often for mutations and training. They were also known to take in renegades and badly mutated Witchers from other schools. Gesrus' mutations were said to be experimental and warped. Now, what exactly that means, I'm not too sure, but it's interesting, that's for sure. One thing I do know about these experimental mutations is that it led to their morality being very flexible. Their morals and their political views were said to be as flexible as their armor. And believe me, their armor is very flexible. They didn't mind taking contracts on humans as well as monsters, and they would basically take any job that would pay. In other words, they had become mercenaries through and through. And as always, they still didn't follow the code of the Witchers by doing so. As for number 6, the cat Witchers actually seem to prefer elves over humans. I suspect it has something to do with the fact they aided the elves long ago, but yeah, they went so far as to aid the elves in their rebellion against humans. Or, well, one elf's rebellion against humans. One who rallied the elves against human rule, and yes, the cat school joined her, and her elves, she got to follow her. Most likely, this added even more to their infamy. Quite a lot of interesting things about the cat school, actually. Far more than 10. Number 7, one of the most interesting bits in my personal opinion. While Netflix's anime Nightmare of the Wolf is a very good movie, at least in my opinion, it's actually very inaccurate. In the actual lore, the cat school had to do with the wolf school's downfall. The cat school's traveling caravan happened to settle down near the wolf school's summer camp, which basically was a training outpost for the wolf school. The cats and the wolves actually got along pretty well, though mostly the older members. The younger members of the cat school actually didn't like each other, and they would even get into brawls and all sorts of other things. However, a fraction of the cat school conspired with the king of Cadwin's mage to wipe out the wolf school. They believed that if they do so, they would be granted a special position under King Radowit in a new order of the Witchers, which of course wasn't true at all. The mage was simply using them and manipulating them. The mage convinced the king of Cadwin, Radowit, to try to kill all the Witchers of the cat school and the wolf school. The cats who did not know about the plot going on were arrested to avoid them intervening with the plot. Most namely was Guxert. A tournament was begun, a Witcher tournament, and it was during this tournament that the cats disarmed the wolves and set them up for slaughter at the hands of the King of Cadwin's men. Most of the wolf school died right then. However, not just the wolves went down, the cats did too, as the armies turned on them and shot them down as well. The wolf school and the cat school both went into decline right then and there. Geralt was actually even involved during this whole thing. He was one of the survivors of the massacre. But we'll go into that in another video, maybe one about the wolf school even. The final fate of the cat school is honestly in question. We don't really know their status. Most everything points to the fact that they're gone. But there are rumors out there that they've begun once more. What we do know is that Guxert was released. Well, he was released on the condition that they would receive no more royal money from Cadwin, but he was released one way or another, and he intended to get the traveling caravan back going and the cat school back on track and in order. Some of the cats were banished from Kaer Morhen and other Witcher resting places, mostly the ones who had to do with the slaughter at the Witcher tournament, or so it's believed. So basically they had nowhere to go and rest come winter. Eventually though, the caravan of the cat school was overtaken by soldiers. And really it was with that the cat school was done, or so many believe. The fact is, we really don't know. We don't really know if the cat school is done for or if they've begun once again. All signs seem to suggest that the cat school is dead. But there are a lot of rumors out there in the world that the cat school is actually still out there and has begun again. Who knows, maybe even the new teaser for the next Witcher game has something to do with the cat school. I mean, a lynx is a cat after all. Although I kind of doubt it, because unlike the Netflix, in the games we've not seen different varieties of Witcher medallions. Not yet at least. I mean, who knows? So, while this may seem like the last thing for a video, I still have 2 more lore things coming up. I've saved these next 2 things for last because I don't exactly know when they happened during the timeline of the cat school. My best guess is that they happened during Gezras's time, due to him taking renegades and outcasts and badly mutated witchers. But the thing is, with the founders of the cat school wanting to make better mutations, it could have happened during the beginning of the cat school, in their experiments and stuff with the mutations. The cat school were one of the only witchers to take in non-pure-blooded humans. This means there could actually be a half-elf witcher out there, or quarter-elf witcher, maybe part dwarf. Really, it's interesting, because I'm pretty sure that in all the other schools, non-pure-blooded humans actually died from the mutations. I think, anyway. I might be wrong on that one. But one thing I know is that at some point the cats were taking in non-pure-blooded humans as witchers. Last but not least, the biggest bombshell of these facts, in my opinion, is the fact that the cat school took in girls. Now, do understand, this was first introduced in the role-playing game book released a while back. So some may deem it semi-canon or not canon, but I'm pretty sure it's canon. There's something in the books that makes me believe it is. So, late book spoilers, for those who don't want them. When Ciri kills Leo, who had taken several Witcher medallions as trophies, she chose to take the cat school medallion that he had in his trophies. Even though there was a selection, she chose the cat school medallion. Honestly, you could say this fits given Ciri's personality and how she was part of the rats at one point in time, all that, but really it's interesting when you take into consideration what I just said about the cats training girls to become witchers. In the role-playing book, there are even notable female witchers from the cat school. As far as I know, they are the only school who managed to pull this off. Once more, when this happened is a good question. I again suspect during Gezras's time and the traveling caravan, but it could have happened when they founded it, though I do doubt it. It's really interesting to me, honestly. No other Witcher school ever pulled this off. In all the others, the females died during the trials. And that is a canon fact. So it seems through the cats' different mutations, they pulled it off. In a way, I guess you could say they did manage to enhance the mutations in a way. They managed to pull off things no other school ever did. Even if it wasn't their intention when Gezrus came into power and the schism happened. With that said, that's about all I have to say. Alright, that's it. That's the 10 things I wanted to discuss. Though, being completely honest, I could probably have found more to talk about in this video. I really just wanted to limit it to 10. Who knows, maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video someday. The cats are definitely one of the more in-depth schools in the lore. Like, there is a lot of information to talk about with them. But I think that sums up the basics and the big things, at least. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.